What's up, guys? It's your boy Ace from Madden.com, and today I'm going to show you guys a really good defense for keeping everything in front of you. And it's going to make your opponent kind of rethink how they have to attack your defense. Now, the formation is big nickel over G, and let me make this very clear. It has to be big nickel over G. So don't ask me in the comments, can you use nickel over or any other formation? The answer is no, and it's because big nickel over G has very specific adjustments that you can use that are unique to the formation itself. So, like I said, big nickel over G. The playbook I'm in is Kansas City Chiefs. You know, it has like dollar, dime normal, nickel over, nickel 3-3, big nickel over G, 4-3, even 6-1. All of these are good usable formations. And I do a full breakdown of this playbook on acemadden.com, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive ebook. If you guys want access to that, become a member, use code ACE for 15% off at checkout. You'll get access to everything. And it's definitely worth it if you guys want to win more games. Okay, so let's talk about the defense, which is going to be big nickel over G. We're not going to touch the packages. We're just going to make sure our middle linebacker right here, make sure he's fast. He better be fast as hell. If he's not, put a safety in and, you know, let him run. I mean, he's very important in regards to making this a bend but don't break defense. So what we're going to do is come out of cover 2. And then I'm going to use gun box because I have a really good cover 2 beater that I can demonstrate and how we can shut it down. So slot trail is the play. It's like my favorite play in the game, and it can beat any coverage, but it's really good against cover 2. God forbid they come out on cover 2. And let me just go ahead and show you and then explain why cover 2 is so bad. So let's go ahead and run it. And then you're going to see this corner route gets open super quickly. It doesn't matter if they have zone drops on. And that's because these outside cornerbacks are legit awful. Like, these outside clouds are so bad in regards to getting depth and defending the sideline. It just doesn't matter if they're zone dropped or not. They just backpedal super slowly. They don't get a lot of width, and it's just bad. These deep half safeties are screwed. Like, they don't have a lot of help. I think these deep halves are actually decent zones this year. They're way smarter than they were last year. And this is just a good cover 2 beater in general. Like, I can't blame the safety for getting conflicted between a streak and a corner. Like, that's going to be a good combo no matter what, or whatever Madden it is. And there's nothing we can do about that. So what I'm going to do is show you how you can improve this shell so that you're masking the weakness of a current Tampa 2. And you can only do this out of big nickel over G. So if you double tap Y, that's going to open your secondary menu, Y or triangle, I should say. And then we're going to hit Y, which is our left side safety. And then if you look at the menu in the bottom left, we have a bunch of different zones that you don't have in other formations. Like, usually it'll just be like, you can put them in curl flats, you can put them in vert hooks or hook curls. You can do all that kind of stuff. But with this, you have like different deep zones that you can do, and like a mid read as well. So what we're going to do is change these deep halves to deep thirds. So left stick left is going to make him go outside third left. So that's what you want since he's on the left side of the field. And then double tap Y again, or triangle. Select A, which is your right side safety, and then right stick left. And that's going to put him in a outside third on the right. So if you look at the play art, you see that, you know, it's very similar to a cover 2, but, you know, it's the middle of the field is now wide open. If they run a streak, it's going to be a touchdown. And the final step is you do D-pad right twice for our linebacker menu, select A, and then put him in a middle third, left stick up. And that's what your defense looks like. And let me tell you guys, this is a incredibly hard defense to bomb. Like, it's so hard to get over the top of this coverage. And, you know, even attacking the sidelines is hard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the same setup. There's one more step we can do, but I'm going to show you how it is to begin with. So right here, go ahead, look at that. If you click on, that's a pick. That is a pick for sure. If you click on. So you can see that deep half now gets a lot of width to the sideline, and make sure that, like, they can't easily throw these corner routes behind your zones. So everybody runs corner routes because they get over zones and they beat man coverage, and we have to account for that. And that's what you want from these safeties. You want them to protect the deep sideline, because we can rely on this guy here to do a really good job of just getting deep and defending a streak or a skinny post. Now, let me caution you on this. If there's a big speed differential between your middle linebacker or your safety that you put here and whoever's running the streak, this can get beat. You have to keep that in mind. This is not an indestructible defense, no matter who you have on the field. Who you have on the field does matter, specifically for this position. So remember, you put both those safeties in outside thirds. So do that again. Put this guy in a middle third, and then you can shade outside. This is the final step that you can do that's going to help even more against outside routes like corners. Hit Y and then right stick to the right for outside. And, shade outside doesn't have to be for man coverage. It does actually help on zones. So let's go ahead and run the same concept just like this, and then see what happens. And what you're going to see, same thing happens there. You click on, it's going to be a pick. And then I'll do one more rep of showing you, if you throw the streak, for instance, what happens. Okay, so same thing, put both those guys in outside thirds. And you might need to get used to those adjustments because they're kind of different. I've talked about that in a different video where big nickel over G adjustments are just so different that, you're not going to be able to do it super quickly. You might have to click onto the safeties and then come down to him and then whatever you need to do to get it off. It's not that hard. Okay, so what happens if we throw the streak? Let's see what happens. I'm not going to click on, and he does make the play there. It looks a little scary, but, I think there's kind of a speed differential, maybe like a -3, which is, kind of substantial, but at the same time, he ran with him pretty well. And yeah, it's just an incredible shell for keeping everything in front of you. And like, how do you attack the shell? Like, the answer is you have to check the ball down. The flats are going to be open. The underneath these vert hooks are going to be open. So we can run the same route combo that we've been running. And then I'll show you, you'd, for instance, want to like throw it to this running back. And you might not use this specific route combo for attacking the shell because when they start doing this shell, you aren't really necessarily going to have this corner route anymore. So you have to check it down, but at the same time, you probably want another middle route. So I can show you another route concept you would use to attack this. But, for instance, as a user, let's go ahead and show you real quick what you would do as a user on this defense. So you maybe user this guy on the bunch side. If you want to take this a step further versus like a gun bunch, you maybe man this guy up, make sure he doesn't go on a slot wheel. And then what you do is you take away the seam real quick, then you come back down, defend that, whatever. And there's nothing open. There's legit nothing open. I think the corner gets open super late because the outside third, the outside third ends up going back up the field a little bit. But usually the pressure is going to be in before then. And yeah, it's just really hard to attack that part of the field. So what you have to do, like for a route concept that would be really good versus it, let's go ahead and do something over the middle of the field. Like that, like this, let's do this. This would be a good setup because if it's a zone, you might want to look for the corner route. We'll see if they're in the same shell. If they are in that same shell that's taking away this corner route, we're going to have our running back or we're going to have our trail route from our A receiver. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. You're going to see, boom, this guy comes over the field, middle of the field. And depending on what kind of zone drops they're running, if they're running like a 10-yard flat on the outside from the cornerback, this guy is going to be open as well. So right here, you could have thrown him. You could have put him on a wheel as well if you really wanted to. So let me do it one more time. Put him on a wheel. Run a setup like this. Then put the coverage adjustments as the same. Come back down here. And then you'll see like if we get that press animation on the left side, you can run this. You can throw this because the cornerback will not pick that if he does a press animation. So go ahead, look. And the user is not going to user this either. But if you start doing this, you might man up the running back, and then that'll be taken away, and then you'll have to make another adjustment. But this just does such a good job of keeping everything in front of you. And I just wanted to show you that this is a good shell for you to use if you do have big nickel over G in your playbook. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you guys understand the concept of what I'm trying to show. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer those. And then, as always, if you guys enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe for more Madden 23 content. And if you need additional help, you guys need an offense or a defense, check out acemadden.com. Become a member, use code ACE for 15% off at checkout, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.